Part 402. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 4011. Madman, the number one son of the Dark Temple, couldn't help but turn dark. What do you expect labor and capital to do? I'm not interested in the matter of comprehending the divine steel. This thing is too much a test of patience. Nothing. Now my heart has already become restless. I can't comprehend it. Even if you comprehend one or two monuments, it doesn't make any sense. Comprehension of the steel is not my strong point. Master Saint, you'd better not count on me. If you fight and kill, I'm fine, I dare to fight for my life. But comprehending this thing is too brain intensive. You know, I'm most afraid of using my brain. Madman, the number one son of the Dark Temple, shook his head, and then said solemnly from the side. This shit is really difficult. The messy consciousness and rhythm are about to explode in my mind. It's a mess, it's endless. My head is about to explode. The madman looked numb, and then said sincerely. The point is that lying at this time is pointless. Isn't that sand sculpture behavior? And if he pretends to be forceful and insists on continuing this matter, it will really depend on the effect later. The madman is not stupid, he doesn't want to be slapped in the face. What? Don't do that. Madness. Now it's your turn to serve the temple. Among so many people, I like you the most. I know your talent and understanding best. You can take a look at those complicated combat skills and supernatural powers. Isn't this monument of the Buddha also enlightened by humans? Come on. You don't need to risk your life now. If you need it, quickly gather all your strength and grasp it. Crazy. I know, you won't let me down. Just now, you were telling lies, weren't you? I understand, I understand. Your worries are real. But now is not the time for you to worry. When it's time to grasp it, you must grasp it. This is related to whether our Dark Temple can win the first place in snatching the ladder. One step ahead, step by step ahead. This is not a joke. Don't make jokes, okay? I can't bear it. And it's not just about the ownership of the ladder. There are various rewards interspersed in the middle. Didn't you not hear it just now? If you can be the first to comprehend 100 times human monument, you will be able to receive a divine shower. You know about divine grace bathing? Then you will receive the full blessing of supreme divine power. Now you have been promoted to the quasi-demigod state after several previous spiritual power feedbacks. If you take another shower of divine grace, you may be able to sprint to the top demigod state in one go. By that time, we will have one more demigod in our Dark Temple. Snort. I'd like to see how that killer Shura pretends to be. Crazy. You're on my side, right? You were born and raised in my Dark Temple, and you were cultivated by me. Crazy, don't let me down. You are the first genius in my Dark Temple for tens of thousands of years. If you say no, who can I count on? Crazy. Grit your teeth. Hold on. That's the only time. This opportunity, don't slack off. Crazy. What I said, isn't it clear enough? Madness. The muttering sound followed, and Mo Tien, the first saint of the Dark Temple, gritted his teeth, and stared at the madman with scorching eyes at this moment. While speaking, the whole body was shaking. Excited heart, trembling hands, only by experiencing it personally, can we know how strong the feeling is. For a moment, I felt that the picture in front of me was about to be completely torn apart. At a time like this, you really can't be reckless. Something will happen. The Temple of Darkness must be at the forefront. The sacred ladder on the 5th floor of the Futuk Palace has already been missed. If they miss again, their Dark Temple may bid farewell to the divine ladder. When the time comes to watch other people collect all the ladders and enter the realm of the gods, can these people in their dark temple just watch helplessly? Can't. Absolutely not. Mo Tien took a deep breath, and the posture of gnashing his teeth flashed in an all-round way. Strong will, only for a moment. The tense will and mind are slowly swaying at this moment. Hold on to hope. Only by being stable can you be qualified to fantasize. Anyway, you have to get one of the tickets for this ladder, right? In other words, their dark temple must bring back at least one divine ladder. Mo Tien licked his chapped lips, and now his hands were drooping on Mad Demon's body, and now he gathered all his hopes here. If you make a mistake, you will really pull your hips. Must be steady. Must collapse. This is the most important thing. Rhythm, don't mess it up. Mad Demon, the number one son of the Dark Temple, looked helpless. What do you have to force me to do? Is it okay to let me do whatever I want? If you say that, I really won't play with you anymore. I really can't do it. I don't realize it anymore. Master Saint, go find someone else. I have to admit, I'm a piece of shit. If you don't like me, you can beat me up. The madman spread his hands and pretended to be a rascal right now. Things have come to this point, I can't grasp it. Don't make blind promises for things you can't do. Here's the bottom line. On this point, the madman is still clear. He knows how much he owns. Looking at the madman with an indifferent face, Mo Tien twitched the corners of his mouth with a look of bewilderment. Oh shit. What the hell are you just playing with me like this? Do you think it is suitable? What the hell, are you from my dark temple? Isn't this too bastard? Which one of the people in my dark temple is not hot-tempered? Once you encounter such a competitive thing, you will pounce on it like a lunatic, and you must compete. Your name is crazy, why do you shrink back when encountering troubles? As far as this character is concerned, what the hell will I do in the future? Too bad. Facing the madman who refused to cooperate, Motion raised his hand, wanting to threaten with life and death, but after thinking about it, he gave up. Having been in contact with Mad Demon for so long, Mo Tien is still clear about this guy's temperament. This guy is stubborn. If you speak well, maybe you can still listen to what you have to say, but if you insist on going head-on, people won't take care of you at all. It will overwhelm you in minutes. Never mind. I don't count on you anymore. Anyway, try your best to comprehend it yourself. It's best to comprehend a few more human monuments. If you really can't comprehend, don't force it. Anyway, it will be good for you after comprehending the Buddha monument. I'll do my best. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 4012. The black lines on Motion's forehead gradually increased. In such a situation, what would you ask him to do? Besides pampering, can't I just continue pampering? Could it be possible to slap this guy to death? This is not practical. Thinking of this, I couldn't help but let out a sigh. Mo Tien looked at the rows of Buddhist monuments that looked basically the same in front of him, and his skull was also cracking. There is no way to start. If you can lie flat, who wants to work hard? Are you really not tired? It feels like the bones of my body are about to be crushed. Too difficult. The more I think about it, the more my head hurts. The strength in this hand, the more you can't exert it. It's better to rely on yourself than to rely on others. In the past, I was also the pride of the Dark Temple. Ah! Who is afraid of whom? For the God ladder. Bath for God's sake. For the Godhead. I'm fighting. There are not many opportunities to fight hard in this life. Mo Tien gritted his teeth, then licked his chapped lips, and plunged into it. As his eyes flickered, the corners of his mouth were trembling crazily. Whoosh! Just as Mo Tien was working hard, suddenly a golden light flashed in place again. Anyone else succeeded in comprehending? Haven't I started yet? Mo Tien's face darkened, and then he looked at the place where the golden light was shining. I saw a big tortoise, half a person's height, filled with golden light, enjoying it. Mo Tien. A tortoise can enlighten, there's no reason I can't. The tortoise seems to have followed that Fang Fan before. Why are Fang Fan surrounded by all these weird things? More and more. This sun, after all, has become a big disaster. Why? He should have been killed at all costs in the first place. Pity. It's useless to say that now. It's over. It's over. In the future, whenever there is an opportunity to kill this kid, we must fully grasp it. If you miss it, you really won't have it anymore. Mo Tien gritted his teeth, secretly feeling remorse in his heart. But things have come to this point, I regret having a hammer. Now I can only grit my teeth and rush forward. Let's see what kind of ghost it will look like in the future. The future speaks. Fang Fan, who was thinking hard about comprehending the Buddha monument, was also flashed by the golden light at this moment. This shows that he has not completely sunk into the world of the Buddha monument, and is still on the surface, and he has not even entered the Tao. Suanwu giant beast Tiank, has actually realized it. This is really surprising. Could it be that the hope of clearing the customs still falls on Tiank? So many people are not as good as a beast. Fang Fan opened his mouth and couldn't help laughing wryly. This stuff, more or less, looks a bit embarrassing. The feeling of slap in the face became more and more intense. For the rest, let's talk about a hammer. Gradually numb, that's all. Never mind. I'd better learn about my Buddha monument. Fang Fan shook his head, ready to concentrate and continue to study. Whoosh! At this moment, another golden light flashed. Fang Fan was taken aback for a moment, and then looked in the same direction with astonishment. At this moment, a golden light flashed on Tiank, the giant Suanwu beast. Wasn't it all dim just now? Why did it start flashing again? Is the mechanism of the Buddha monument malfunctioning? Or is it that in such a short period of time, the basalt behemoth Tiank once again comprehended a human monument? Not to mention other people at this moment, as the master of the Suanwu giant Tiank, Fang Fan also became ignorant. This scene became more and more incomprehensible. This round is also being destroyed bit by bit. Just as Fang Fan was thinking, the giant Suanwu beast walked towards a brand new human monument again, and then a round of golden light flashed on its body again. Now, there is basically no doubt about it. The current situation is clear and clear. Is this the comprehension of the third Buddha monument? The basalt giant beast is so terrifying. Fang Fan looked at the so-called Buddha monument in the air. List of Buddha monuments. First place, Tiank, 3 monuments of comprehension. Second place, Huangtu, a stele of enlightenment. Third place, none. Really enlightened. And at this moment, the list of the Buddha monument is still flickering. In other words, this time it is still changing. It's too scary. For a moment, he couldn't say a word, and the whole person fell into extreme ignorance and couldn't extricate himself. As thoughts fluttered, he was instantly suppressed. For the rest, let's talk about a hammer. Fell into numbness, completely overwhelmed. His thoughts wandered, and cold sweat trickled down his forehead. Uncommon, really unusual. List of Buddha monuments. First place, Tiank, 5 monuments of comprehension. I haven't looked at it for a while, but Tiank has already comprehended the 5 monuments. This number is still not over, and it is still growing. At the moment, how can the people around have any thoughts to say anything else? At this moment, all eyes are completely focused on this, Each one's eyes widen, and the whole person's hips are stretched. Unable to utter a word, his thoughts were in a mess, and his mentality was slowly collapsing. It's nothing, I feel like I'm still being blind. At the moment when consciousness and rhythm are chaotic, it seems that I can't speak a word. All kinds of sand sculpture feelings are invading without limit. Damn it! We all lost to a big turtle. Grass. Why is this big bastard so powerful? He is the son of destiny. Damn it! Is it true that only those rare birds and beasts can fit in with the Buddha monument? Why does it feel so painful for me to comprehend it? Are you in pain too? Me too. Who knows what's going on? I feel like I'm targeting labor. Damn it! No fun. I threw up. Ah. Ah. Sand sculptures. Sand sculptures. Give up. We are nothing, we can't beat them all. So what if you don't give up now? It's all come to this point. It just feels a little pity. Hey. In fact, there is nothing to regret. The fate is like this, it is useless. Think about it, that's all. It just so happens that this big tortoise comprehends all 100 human monuments, and I just lay flat, and I can't comprehend even one of the F-king human monuments. When I comprehend it, my whole brain is about to explode. It's too painful. Studying this thing is not a human thing at all. I don't want to suffer from it. In the end, there is nothing. It's boring. Hey. Follow me, let's run together. I think so too. Let's go. Let's go. All kinds of sounds around him gradually became chaotic, his eyes flickered, his thoughts gradually drifted away, and his consciousness was a little bit overwhelmed. While black lines flickered on his forehead, a look of pain could not help showing on his face. The sense of stalemate and uneasiness all over the body then gathered in an all-round way. For a while, there was an extreme tearing feeling in the legs, and then the whole body was in turmoil and restlessness. It's nothing, just playing around a bit. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 4013. Who wouldn't want to go one step further if given the chance? Isn't the latter fragrant? Isn't Godhead attractive? Are you upset about taking a shower? Is the supreme liquid not reconciled? It's just that some things have to learn to let go. It's yours, and it will be yours after all. But if it's not yours, what's the use of forcing it? In the end, the only one who suffers in your heart is yourself. That's right, that's it, it's clear. The key depends on whether you can comprehend it or not. Fang Fan temporarily stopped continuing to comprehend the divine steel, and he just stared at Tiank, the Suanwu giant beast. The basalt behemoth Tiank is his pet in battle, and Tiank takes off, which also represents his takeoff. Anyway, the rewards obtained after the basalt behemoth clears the level will definitely be given to Fang Fan. Is this a free ride? Beautiful. Fang Fan seemed contented. It doesn't make sense. What's so wonderful about this big tortoise? I can't comprehend the monument of the Buddha, which even my envoy can comprehend, but he has no difficulty comprehending it. Pass through 5 stages and kill 6 generals. This speed is too fast, isn't it? How can it be so strong? There's a big problem here. What happened? It's so fancy. A muttering sound followed, and I couldn't help but frown all over, my thoughts wandered, and my whole body suddenly became numb. The more you think about it, the more numb you become, and the more you think about it, the more chaotic. All the bells and whistles are useless. Sand sculpture consciousness, full-scale invasion. What a mess. Bai Biao looked left and right, Anyway, he felt somewhat uncomfortable in his heart. There was a bit of conflict between him and the basalt monster Tiank, and they have been competing. Now seeing the basalt giant beast Tianzu taking off, Bai Piao felt somewhat uncomfortable in his heart. At this moment, he was shaking his head back and forth, and his eyebrows were also raised little by little. With a messy heart, let's talk to someone. The sense of sand sculpture is being suppressed little by little. Fang Fan sat firmly on the Diaotai, looking very calm, but the others were different. Protoss. The ancient temple of the first-class saint in Tianlin city of the Protoss was already in a hurry. These aliens, no. They are monsters from other races. How can this foreign monster be so strong? Damn it! In this way, our roads will be completely blocked. Next, what to do next is the real thing. Staying like this all the time, it doesn't seem like that. Something has to be done. Otherwise, once all the 100 human cells are comprehended by the monsters of the foreign race, the rewards for comprehending the human cells will belong to the foreign race. One step behind, but one step behind. Talha. Get up. I can't wait to burn my eyebrows. Why don't you know how to be anxious? Gu Sha, the first-class god general of the Protoss Tianlin city, couldn't help walking back and forth. While talking, his brows were furrowed, his teeth were chattering, and his gaze was fixed. Thoughts are getting mixed up in my mind. The more I think about it, the more chaotic I feel. The more I think about it, the worse it feels. Even his hands and feet were sweating a little. It's tense. Talha, the third-class god general of the Protoss, was originally concentrating on comprehending the steel, but he felt something when he saw it, so he was interrupted. Gu Sha is always nagging in his ears. How can he calm down and do his own thing? Didn't it all be said just now? Shut up. Have you forgotten so soon? I'm already doing my best. If you're really in a hurry, go and comprehend the steel. What's the use of you disturbing my comprehension here? Now I doubt if you are a spy sent by those foreigners. Otherwise, there is something wrong with your brain designation. Talha suppressed his anger. Don't say a few more words. Do you really think that you are very leisurely here? After being reprimanded by Talha, Gu Sha felt very humiliated. He wanted to yell back, but when he saw Talha sitting upright and frowning, he took a few steps back angrily. This wave was indeed his fault. I was really a little unsure just now. The main thing is that, too nervous. Then it evolved into such a ghostly look. At this moment, in this mind, the messy thoughts are rushing and ending bit by bit. Numb and weak. It's even nonsensical. Not only these Protoss cultivators, but everyone in the Temple of the Light Alliance also looked anxious at this moment. This basalt giant beast is Fang Fan's battle pet. Speaking of it, if the basalt giant beast takes off, it means Fang Fan takes off, and Fang Fan himself is a member of the Light Camp, and it can also take off on behalf of the Light Camp and the Temple of the Light Alliance. But the Temple of the Alliance of Light has never been of one mind with Fang Fan. Wang Tu, the first-class sage of the Temple of the Alliance of Light, watched helplessly as his top position on the Buddha monument was squeezed out, and the uneasy expression on his face immediately came into place. It hasn't been long since I was happy, and I just wanted to pretend to be a wave, so I came here to slap my face? Oh shit. Is it all this fast now? How to play this? This face is so rosy. What a pain. At this moment, my brain was buzzing and trembling, and I couldn't say a word. I want to express something, but the key is that I can't express it. Mess, endless, asshole. 18. I comprehended the 18 Buddha statues at once. Could it be that this tortoise is the tortoise of the true God? Otherwise, it doesn't make sense to be so strong. Everyone around me is inferior to me in understanding, and I can crush them all in minutes. But but this turtle, I can't handle it. Damn it! I lost to a turtle. Shame. A great shame. I don't know if we can launch an attack from behind and wipe out this turtle in an instant. Is this considered to be a solution to a competitor? Wang Tu licked his lips, and couldn't help but take a deep breath. Such demonic thoughts rushed wildly in his mind, and for a while, he was inexplicably pleasantly surprised and excited. Isn't that what you want? Invincible at the moment, let alone tell anyone. Follow the established pace and forge ahead in all directions. I can't be delayed by a turtle. No. You still can't be reckless. There is a mysterious existence here. It can rain thunder at every turn. Almost killed me before. If I make any changes, maybe I will really be obliterated. The surrounding area is surrounded by the Buddha monument, and there is a high probability that random fighting is not allowed. I can't make a move. Too risky. It won't be worthwhile if he is really killed by then. Wang Tu took a deep breath, then nodded frequently. The thoughts in his mind were clear. He is not a fool either. Compared to him as a whole, he is actually very clever. How to do it, I have a point in my heart. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 4014. The area where the practitioners of the Dark Temple are located. Lord Saint, do you see that? Everyone is cheating, we have no hope. Give up as soon as possible. It's understandable to properly comprehend these Buddhist styles and improve your own situation. If you want to win the leader's reward by comprehending the Buddha monument, give up as soon as possible. Madman, the number one son of the Dark Temple, shrugged, and then became quite sober in the world. He has a very clear understanding of himself. I am very clear about how capable I am and how much I can do. In fact, from the beginning, he knew it in his heart. So when talking with Mo Tian, he directly understood his willpower. In all aspects, it seems very appropriate. Madman has never been one to talk big. What can be done is what can be done. If you can't do it, you can't do it. This is a matter of one's ability and has nothing to do with others. This time, the idea is in place, and this feeling is naturally there. The rest are trivial matters. No hope. If there is no hope, you have to find some hope for me. Asshole. I will never allow it to fail like this. Shame. A great shame. Damn. Damn. The posture of gnashing his teeth was fully displayed, and the murderous light in his eyes was about to gush out directly. At this moment, while his lips were trembling slightly, Motion's lips were cracking a little bit. That extremely oppressive mood was about to melt away. Pain. The pain is excruciating. Gritting his teeth, he couldn't say a word. The panic in my heart can be imagined. The more I think about it, the more anxious I feel. The more I think about it, the more painful it becomes. Who is he? He is Mo Tian. He is the first-class saint high above the Dark Temple. He is the younger brother of the Dark Pope. His thoughts dominate the glory of the entire Dark Temple. The extreme urgency gradually suppressed in the bottom of my heart. Casually, even the most basic fluttering feeling disappeared. Instead, it was full of despair and pain. During the suppression of thoughts, the picture in front of him seemed to disappear completely. Numb, but insane. It's nothing, just playing around a bit. This feeling, this taste, is not good. Not quite right? It's a mess, I don't know what to say. Terrible. They can, even a tortoise, there's no reason we can't. All the cultivators of the Dark Temple listen to me. It's time for our Dark Temple to live and die. Get me all agitated. Anyone who loses the chain to me, I'll kill him. I'll cook him. Even if it costs your dog's life, I will not hesitate. Did you hear me? Ah. Did you hear it? Isn't what I said obvious enough? The extreme roar almost shocked everyone around. Mo Tian's eyes suddenly turned blood red, and he was really stimulated at the moment. The more I talked, the more excited I became, and the more I talked, the more clearly I showed the posture of gnashing my teeth. Perseverance, let alone tell anyone. At the moment, it is being fully mobilized. This kind of motivation has also become more and more high, as if to completely burn everything around. An excited heart, trembling hands, a strong will, and a crushed mind gradually vanished before the eyes. Invisibly, that kind of extremely restless heart is about to stretch my hips. Painful and desperate. I want to complain, but I can't even say a word. Disaster. Difficult to go to the blue sky. Just like the current state, your skull will be knocked open. The moment of desperate pursuit is now. The idea of burning is almost to the bone and sucks the marrow. In the audience, although many people were watching the performance of Tiank, the giant Suanwu beast, the momentum in their hearts was all about fighting and working hard. At least at this moment, it feels gradually in place. At the moment when thoughts are flying, it seems that everything is completely torn up and cleaned up. Who doesn't want to comprehend a few more Buddha statues? Who doesn't want to be able to take off with one step? Who wouldn't want to feel this extreme romantic moment? I have this idea in my heart, but sometimes my ability is really limited. What the hell, the concubine can't do it. 38 seats. 39. 40. How can this tortoise enlightenment be so fast? I don't believe his talent is really so high. Snort. It's just a turtle. Impossible. There is definitely a problem here. It's just that I haven't found out where the problem is. Chaos. 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 Get out. The extreme roar was suppressed to the extreme, and then it swelled up a little bit. Wang Tu, the first-class saint in the Temple of the Alliance of Light, looked unhappy. Originally, on the list of the Buddhist monument of the Buddha, he was at the top of the list, he was the strongest, and he was invincible. How did you become such a ghost now? Damn. Damn thing. Everything has changed. Become annoying. Become indignant. The mad will is loosening up little by little. It's nothing, just playing around a bit. No point at all. He can't pretend anymore. Moreover, he saw that the rewards for the ladder of gods, the rewards for the Godhead, and the rewards for the supreme liquid were all going away from him. I'm so flustered. At this moment, even the footsteps are extremely biased. The consciousness and feelings of the sand sculpture are constantly surging. In the end, there is nothing to worry about. After all, do I still have to follow suit? Inexplicably sad. This kind of life is meaningless at all. After tossing until the end, it turned into a sand sculpture instead. Difficult to go to the blue sky. I don't know what the idea is, I'm just feeling a little bit blind. Boring. The consciousness is unstable, just pulling the hips. Am I about to be eliminated? No. I won't allow it. I can still save it. God ladder, don't let it go. And it was still taken away by that tortoise. That tortoise belonged to that brat Fang Fan. Isn't that the same as that brat Fang Fan took away the divine ladder and even the divine fluid? These are rare to see outside. Not allowed. Never allowed. This matter is not over. Must be grasped. God's ladder. Godhead. God's liquid. God's grace bath. I want it all. Me. Wang Tu. Since I can be the first to comprehend the divine steel, it shows that I am blessed by the gods. Snort. Anyone else who wants to fight with me is too tender. At the end of the day, you will only be completely crushed. Not qualified. Everyone is not qualified. I am the king. I, Wang I am born with understanding. The posture of gnashing teeth flashed across the board, the sound of breathing gradually became quicker, and as the teeth trembled, the belief of the whole person was bursting out little by little. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 4015. Wang Tu was cheering himself up. If he doesn't cheer himself up at this time, he might go crazy. I can't control myself at all. The whole person seemed to be trapped in a nightmare, and then slowly became a little uncontrollable. The hands are bound and the thoughts are controlled. This is the final sprint. There is only one last chance left. Fang Fan still hasn't comprehended even a single divine tablet. He began to doubt his own understanding. The reason why his cultivation base can be promoted to several ranks in a short period of time is not because of how strong his comprehension is, it can only be said that he is invincible. In the era of hanging up, sometimes it is really hard to say. From time to time, I will be choked, and then I can't speak a word. Gradually, it became numb in my heart, and then I couldn't get up. As it is now, it gradually becomes a sand sculpture. Fang Fan, don't pretend to be trying hard to understand. It's useless. Give up. See. Try hard to the end, don't you still look like a ghost? Why? If you want me to say, it's best to lie flat. Just watch that big turtle take us flying. AHH. Oh shit. I'm actually sleepy. Grass. How sleepy? I can't, labor and capital are exhausted. It's time for a husky. I'm going to sleep. Bai Piao yawned several times in succession. While talking, he couldn't help stretching, his whole body became extremely sore and limp. Tian's comprehension of the divine monument has slowed down. The 69th Buddha monument. Although it is a human stele, but after comprehending so much at once, this talent is already very strong. Fang Fan raised his head and glanced, thinking to himself, the changing facial expressions were very real. Everything is the most realistic appearance. True and clear. According to the established rhythm, everything will happen. Fang Fan could feel the body of the basalt monster Tian trembling. He persisted in comprehending the 69th human stele, and then forcibly comprehended the 70th human stele. Puff. A mouthful of reversed blood was spit out, and the basalt giant Tian still couldn't hold on. At this moment, he was holding the 70th monument tightly, and then turned his head and smiled at Fang Fan. Owner. I tried my best. I need to take a break. As the basalt behemoth Tian spoke, he let out a long sigh of relief. You've done a good job. Fang Fan couldn't help but nodded. After all, he couldn't even comprehend a human monument. What you can't do yourself, others have done, even a lot more than the quota. This is ability, and you must be convinced. I am born to be useful. At this moment, the data on the Buddha monument list changed again. List of Buddha monuments. First place, Tiank, there are 70 monuments to comprehend enlightenment. Second place, Wangtu, a stele of enlightenment. Third place, none. There is still some difficulty in comprehending the list of Buddha God tablets. If it weren't for this, there wouldn't be only 2 people who have enlightened by now. Tianke comprehended 70 monuments, while Wangtu only comprehended 1 divine stele. The basaltic behemoth Tianke has stopped, which is great news to many people. At least, this is equivalent to bringing hope to them. Otherwise, there is nothing but despair. Waves of despair swept over me, and my brain was about to be torn apart. That kind of taste and feeling, to be honest, I don't want to experience it at all. Seeing that a tortoise is so strong seems to remind them all the time that they are trash. There is still hope. Oh shit. This damn tortoise is finally dead. Grass. It's made labor and management think hard for so long. It's fine if this guy collapses. It's just a pity, I just vomited blood and hurt a little vitality. If the vitality of this big turtle recovers, don't I have to continue to study? Why? Why not kill him directly? The first-class god of the Protostian city raised Gush's eyebrows, and then couldn't help but complain. While talking, his eyes flickered and his thoughts gradually became extremely chaotic. In this wave, all kinds of sand sculpture feelings frantically gathered in his mind, and for a while, his thoughts were about to explode. This also said a few. It's a mess, it's endless, it's nothing, and it's a bit blind. Difficult to go to the blue sky. Guy's picture sense gradually developed. Consciousness gradually began to collapse. The sense of clutter is slowly coming into place. Gusha had originally made up his mind to comprehend and comprehend well, so he still had a little confidence in himself. But after a few glances, he gave up. Can't read. Do not understand. What the hell? Labor and capital are about to split. Turtle son. This is still playing tricks. Why? We Protoss are just a bunch of muscular idiots. Only Talha has some brains. But this guy will also play tricks. Looking at that empty-headed look, I guess it's not very good. Sand sculpture. Grass. This rhythm is all messed up. It's a mess, it's endless. The key is what to do next. If you can't hold it steady, it will all collapse. Those foreigners will laugh happily together later, and we noble Protoss sit here. God doesn't protect my Protoss either. My God. You are unfair. We Protoss, since we call ourselves Protoss. That is the descendant of the true God. Why doesn't the true God come to bless you? Gusha's face was gloomy, and his heart was fluctuating unbearably at this moment. What a jerk. The consciousness of killing one's life is about to blow up the entire labor and capital. The moment of crazy death has arrived. Silence is coming. How can the ancient temple still have the slightest thought to comprehend what kind of sacred monument it is? I can't hold back just a few guesses here. Light. Light. Bright. Lord Gussa. Light. At the same time, Quaid, the second-class god general of the Protostian city, suddenly roared a few times, and his face turned red to the extreme. The more I talked, the more excited I became, and the more I talked, the more my thoughts surged. In the end, I couldn't grasp the excitement at all. Stimulation, in place instantly. Too prickly. Invincible. Really invincible. Cool batch. Beautiful. What's the name of the ghost? What is not bright? What does it have to do with you when people comprehend the divine steel? It's Talha. Talha, it's done. Oh my God. Is this true? Hiss. Gudong. Whoops, in place. Gusha rubbed his eyes in disbelief, the happiness came so suddenly that he was a little at a loss. Master Gusha, it's true. Our Protoss has risen. The third place on the list of Buddha statues is Talha. Quaid said excitedly. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu. Chapter 4016. No matter how much enmity there was between Quaid and Talha before. But at least at this time, their goals are unprecedentedly unified. Their will also trembled at this moment. Invincible. Invincible. Extremely stabbing. The more I think about it, the more excited I become, and the more I think about it, the more excited I become. For the rest, say a few more. It's cool. Cool, Isn't that enough? Don't care about the rest. It doesn't matter. Just continue to follow the sand sculpture. War. 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 Invincible. Invincible at the moment, let alone tell anyone. List of Buddha monuments. First place, Tiank, there are 70 monuments to comprehend enlightenment. Second place, Huangtu, a stele of enlightenment. Third place, Talha, a stele of enlightenment. Whoosh. Once again a bright light flashed. The list of the Buddha stele has changed again. All eyes were attracted. At this moment, everyone couldn't help but start to gasp. This wave was indeed stimulated. The more I watch, the more excited I get. The more you look, the more impulsive you are. List of Buddha monuments. First place, Tiank, there are 70 monuments to comprehend enlightenment. Second place, Talha, there are 5 steles of comprehension. Third place, Huangtu, a stele of enlightenment. Talha instantly comprehended the 5 monuments. The nouns on the list are also rising wildly. For a moment, the atmosphere of the audience rose to the limit in an instant. Everyone began to doubt life. What the hell? What's up? Why? Why? Everyone is so strong. When it comes to labor and capital, it becomes a mess. Who can bear this? Sometimes the endurance is poor, and I start vomiting blood in an instant. A mouthful of blood spit out on the monument of the Buddha, and was instantly absorbed by the monument of the Buddha. Then these jealous people began to scatter golden light. The whole audience was stunned. This situation is not right. It feels like a sand sculpture invisibly. The stream of consciousness doesn't work either. This is so humming messed up. It's not 1 or 2 people, but a dozen or so people are starting to shine. Moreover, all the people who were braving the golden light just now vomited blood without exception, and even vomited blood onto the Buddha monument. There are no fools here. Everyone comes alive. Seeing something wrong at this moment, one after another, they all swarmed over. That gesture was extremely surging. I know. As long as you vomit blood on the Buddha monument, you can comprehend it. I am CAO. I can see it too. Spit blood. Spit blood. Is this monument of the Buddha so stupid? Why do we need to sacrifice with blood? Dog things. All dog things. Spit. Spit. Damn it. What the hell is this? Forget it. Anyway, it can be regarded as showing us the way. Enlightenment comes first, the rest don't matter. Spit out a wave of blood first. The point is, I'm so humming good, why do I vomit blood? Otherwise, are you going to get mad at me again? Huh? Let's do it. Do a few. Forget it, just punch me. Just punch me and vomit blood. Brother, are you serious? Who the hell is joking with you? Hurry up. If there is any more ink, there will be no chance. I've told you so much, why don't you get the hang of it? Hey. Dog. I'll kill you. Dry. You beat me to vomit blood first. Let me realize enlightenment first. Then I will beat you to vomit blood. For a while, the atmosphere in the audience was very sandy. One by one, they are all playing blindly. It's so fancy, I don't even know what I'm doing. Hitting it with a fist, he vomited blood instantly. Boom. Suddenly, there was a thunderclap, and the audience was stunned. The lightning fell, and the scene at this moment was very shocking. All eyes are gathered here. Their respective consciousnesses are spinning wildly. I wanted to say something, but couldn't express it. The person who helped throw the fist just now has been split in two by the divine lightning. Then a breeze blew through and it was all gone. Everything is over. Died. Just die. In the place where the Buddha monument is located, How can you beat someone with your fist? There are more things covered here. For a while, all kinds of sand sculptures felt in place. Thoughts are messy in my heart, and I will say a few more about the rest. There are too many rules in this ghost place, you can't mess around. Be careful. Stop messing around. This Shenlei is not just talking. It's a good thing labor and management didn't punch directly just now, otherwise, I'd be a humming waste now. It's useless. It's really useless. There were bursts of sighs from many people around. This is considered to have saved a life. This is the Futu Palace. In a place like this one has to be careful everywhere. If you are not careful, you may be killed. Being struck by this divine lightning, you will be cold in minutes. No dead body. But now, there is another problem in front of us. That's the people like them. Only by spitting blood on the Buddhist monument can they use this energy to comprehend the monument. Now, if you can't vomit blood, don't you have no chance to enlighten? Thinking about it, how anxious and uncomfortable do you feel in your heart? Mentality, blood collapse. What should I do? You don't hit me, and you don't get angry at me, why are you vomiting blood? Why? Isn't this driving us to a dead end? You can't play like this. It's too difficult for me. Wipe. What a dick. If you can't stand still, you're just making waves? Hit yourself. Punch yourself. I can't do it. Take a little trouble now, and you will get the magic ladder later. Do you think you can do it? I'll brew it up again. Brew a hammer. Get lost. It will be cool in minutes. Hit it. Hurt yourself. You can't beat others, but you can't beat yourself. Go. Go faster. For some reason, the trend of self-mutilation has begun to prevail again. For a while, this atmosphere immediately rose. Everyone looked at each other, their eyes widened, their thoughts were bursting out little by little. Some of the others have nothing to say, and now they are all staring at the Buddha monument. In the past, I felt quite hopeless. I felt that this sacred monument was too difficult to comprehend, so I liked to lie flat. But now, it is obviously impossible to lie flat. If you lie flat now, isn't it certain death? I have to beat your head open. How can one pass such a good opportunity to comprehend the Buddha monument by vomiting blood? At this moment, one by one seemed to be pumped with chicken blood, sprinting over excitedly. Wasn't it just a punch for themselves? Isn't it just vomiting blood? It's not death. So, these are minor issues. It's not a big problem if you suffer a little bit. As long as the layout is big, anything can be there. Opportunity is here. You know, you can't come across this kind of hard work anytime, anywhere. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 4017. Many times, there is no such opportunity. Now that opportunity is right in front of you, just let yourself hurt yourself a bit. Relatively speaking, it is simply not too cost-effective. Fang Fan's eyes swept across the surrounding area, and his face could not help showing numbness. If it's so neat, it's a hammer. All vomiting blood. Inexplicably, there is a sense of sand sculpture in my heart. Boy Fang Fan. Otherwise, we will also vomit blood. After all, such a good opportunity is not so easy to grasp. Boy Fang Fan. Bai Piao blinked, and while talking, his face couldn't help showing a look of anticipation. This wave, the rhythm is very stable, and the consciousness is more stable. You can have a try. Fang Fan looked at Bai Piao, and then said seriously. Rhythm, be steady, this is the most important thing. Ah. Cough. Then what, I won't try it? After all, you know my talent, I'm too hip. I can't, I won't get involved. And if you do it like this, it doesn't make much sense, and it will even cause a lot of impact. Fang Fan, you are so talented. You can. You take off. The sound of excitement gathered in place, and the picture in front of me was changing little by little. Bai Piao's little thought is not too real now. To put it bluntly, it is actually continuous sand sculpture. At the end of the sand sculpture, there is no way to continue. This guy said it seriously, and if it was his turn to play, he would cringe there again. All I can say is, it's pretty silly. Teacher, how about, I try this method? You can't let others take the lead. Now you're tortoise, no. It's Suan Wuo, it's not very good now, look, it was stuck at the 70th monument before, it can't work at all, it can't be pushed at all. Teacher, shall I try? I'll let these people from Guangming Academy try. Tai Shiji's eyes could not help flickering, while speaking, the picture in front of him was flickering in place little by little. This time, I was very excited, and there were also bursts of surging feelings inexplicably. Fang Fan groaned, his eyes flickered, he thought for a while, then shook his head. Forget it. No point. Tossing to the end will only hurt yourself. If you can comprehend this Buddha monument only by vomiting blood, it will be meaningless. That's self-harm. When the time comes, everyone will self-mutilate. Isn't this just followed by involuntary involvement? It doesn't make much sense to continue until the end. Fang Fan's eyes flickered, and then he said calmly. In every way, this feeling is very appropriate, and everything is unspoken. If you should hold on, you have to hold on. Otherwise, something will happen, something big will happen. If you are not careful, you will be completely contained. Everything is as Fang Fan expected. By relying on the method of vomiting blood, 1, 2, or 3 or 5 human monuments may be comprehended, but in the end, no matter how much blood is vomited, the Buddha monument will not follow. This thing still depends on talent. With no talent, it is obviously unrealistic to want to engage in these crooked means. In the end, it was completely terminated and suppressed. Until the end, even the most basic feelings were not grasped. The one in the front row now is still Tiank, the giant Suanwu beast. But the people behind are also catching up. Call. That Talha of the Protoss is a bit powerful. Shui Wanren, deputy head of Guangming Academy, squinted his eyes, and couldn't help sighing from the sidelines at this moment. In all aspects, if you can't stabilize, you will pull your hips. At this moment, the competition for the list of Buddha god stels is quite fierce. List of Buddha monuments. First place, Tiank, there are 70 monuments to comprehend enlightenment. The second place, Talha, there are 57 monuments to comprehend enlightenment. The third place, Wangtu, 18 monuments of enlightenment. Fourth place, Motion, there are 15 monuments to comprehend human beings. Fifth place, Yuan Juxiang, with 12 monuments of enlightenment. The fifth place has already comprehended more than a dozen monuments. With a glance across the past, the whole person fell into infinite shock. Immediately, thoughts fluttered, and the rhythm was curbed crazily. In the end, it all just got out of hand. Talha has comprehended 57 monuments. We're about to catch up with Tiank. It seems, not very safe. The state of Tiank isn't right. It felt like my whole body was going weak. His potential has been gradually exhausted. If you want to continue to comprehend the divine tablet, I'm afraid it will be a bit difficult. This road doesn't work anymore. If there is no way to go, it will be boring to continue talking. There is no pressure for other people, mainly Talha from the Protoss. The first time I saw Talha of the Protoss, I thought he was just a fierce general. I didn't expect that it has changed into this appearance now. This person has unlimited potential. Fang Fan squinted his eyes, and couldn't help but take another look at Talha as his thoughts fluttered. Talha's existence put some pressure on him. In this regard, we must be steady. After all, Fang Fan knew too little about the Protoss. In terms of dealing with each other, that is, in the last few months. And it's still fighting. Come on. Come on. Talha. You are the best. I knew it, I knew you could do it. Fight. Fight. Talha. Sprint. Surpass. You are the number one on the Buddha monument list. Immediately all the god ladders. The Godhead is yours. And, there is also the gift of the supreme divine grace. Opportunity. Opportunity. Hold it. Hold it. Only by grasping can we take off. Only by grasping can we fly. Fight. 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 Waves of excited and surging sounds exploded in my mind instantly, and for a while, I didn't understand it at all. Gu Sha, the first-class god general of Tianlin city of the Protoss, blushed for a while, and became more and more excited as he screamed. Their Protoss is up. Talha. As expected, I saw you right. Talha. You can do it. Talha. Invincible. Invincible. Talha. Keep fighting. Talha. You are my best brother. Talha. From now on, you are my brother. I will share the world of the gods with you. Gu Sha bit her lip tightly, her teeth chattering crazily. At the same time, the number of Buddha statues that Talha has comprehended is still increasing dramatically. There's no telling about talent. Sometimes, it's just so strange. I didn't expect this guy to be really good. Could it be that the true gods of the Protoss are protecting him? Why? How am I worse than him? Quaid, the second-class god general of the Protoss Tianlin city, pursed his lips, looking a little upset. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 4018. Although Quaid was a little jealous in his heart, he still knew the overall situation that should be there. Now is a critical period to belong to their Protoss. Talha is the hero of the Protoss. It is the treasure of the Protoss. In this wave, there must be no slack in the slightest. A little slack, it will be numb, and it will be cold. The Protoss took off. The Protoss has accumulated all the divine ladders and created the road to becoming a god. Maybe I have the opportunity to step on it. In this way, this is simply my peak moment. Now I am silently expecting Talha to be the leader. Come on. Keep going. One person attains enlightenment, chicken and dog ascend to heaven. Why? What's the grievance between me and him? Small things. They're all small things, don't care. It's all sand sculptures. Damn. Why do you care about this kind of thing? It doesn't matter at all. Mentally, calm down. Well. That's it? That's it? He's up, and it's good for me, too. Humph. If anyone dares to disturb Talha now, I will fight him desperately. Quaid, the second-rank god general of the Protoss Tianlin city, licked his lips, and while talking, his eyes couldn't help flickering with a different kind of brilliance. This time, the more I talked, the more excited I became, and the picture in front of me seemed to be completely torn apart. That kind of excited idea completely exploded in my mind. In fact, there are no permanent friends and enemies. In the face of interests, these things have to be viewed separately. Some are very apt and realistic, while others seem very sand sculptures invisibly. No point, really no point. Crazy thoughts gradually exploded in his mind, and everything was silent. Develop according to the established rhythm, and gradually show the most authentic appearance. With the feeling, the consciousness will slowly become extremely clear. Everyone stared at the list of Buddha God's tablets, watching the changes in the above data. More or less a sense of impulsiveness surged in their hearts. The ultimate thoughts burst out, and the footsteps trembled slightly. 69. Talha has comprehended the 69th human steel. It's only one piece away, and it's on par with that big turtle. That big tortoise is mysterious. Is it really God bless God clan? Damn it. This is too unpleasant. I can't figure it out. I can't figure it out. Dog. Kill him in minutes. Go up and call me. Fight. Fight. Invincible. Excited shouts swept through, and the current scene gradually entered a white-hot state. The more shouting, the more excited, the more impulsive at this moment. It is more than words. Come on. Come on. The mouth of Gushat, the first-class god general of the Protostian city, is about to be worn out. But at the moment, he doesn't care about these at all. At this moment, his eyes gradually turned blood red, and he stared at Talha with burning eyes. This is the greatest hope of the Protoss. Swish. At this moment, a golden light flashed on Talha's body again. Equal. Tied for first place. Talha. You can do it. Keep going. The god clan Tianlin City's first-class god General Gusha frantically swallowed his saliva, and his eyeballs frantically rolled at this moment. In the past, there was no hope. Now the hope is getting bigger and bigger, and it feels like it is in sight. Opportunities must be fully grasped. The god ladder is close at hand. The moment for Protoss to take off is now. If it fails to take off this time, it will be completely suppressed by those foreigners. Moreover, the significance of the existence of the divine ladder is too great, it even determines the opening of the road to becoming a god. Can you be careless about this kind of thing? If you are not careful, you will be preempted by the group of foreigners. Create a path to becoming a god and enter the realm of the gods. This is the future everyone wants to witness. Such a future is in full swing. Invincible at the moment, let alone tell anyone. Boundless stabbing, boundless combat power. I'm going to enter the realm of the gods. I'm going to become a god. I'm no longer on the same level as these people. At that time, they will all have to bow down to me. Gussa. I am the true god's darling. When Talha clears the level, I will ask him to give me all the godheads, blessings, etc. that he rewards. It's mine, it's all mine. If you dare to rob me, I will kill him in minutes. Snort. I'd like to see if I have the guts. Damn. Damn. Gussa is already planning for a better future. His future must be bright. Swish. The basalt behemoth Tiank, which had been silent for a long time, suddenly flashed a golden light at this moment. Leading again now. Successfully comprehended the 71st divine ladder. All of a sudden, bursts of cheers came from the surrounding area. How excited! Very competitive. Damn it! That big tortoise, why don't you die? Compete with me. Damn thing. You are so worthy. Roll. 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 I can't wait to kill this big turtle immediately. Gushat, the first-class god of the Protostian city, was grinding his teeth, and couldn't help complaining silently in his heart at this moment. The black lines on his forehead gathered all over his forehead, and his eyes were extremely blood red. This kind of anxious mood, how can I tell anyone? At the moment, it becomes more and more messy. I just want to completely erase everything in front of me. It feels more and more profound. Consciousness is becoming less and less clear. That's it. I have been swimming in the feeling of sand sculpture. Swish. At the same time, a golden light flashed on Tiank, the giant Suanweo beast. Successfully comprehended the 72nd Buddha monument. The resentment and anger on Gu Sha's face gradually froze, and when his eyes turned, he was dumbfounded. How is this different from what I imagined? It's changed, it's completely changed. Hateful. Hateful. Next, how can we follow this path to the end? Cool moonlight, how can we continue like this? Could it be that my dream of becoming a god has been stranded like this? Talha, why is Talha silent at this time? Gu Sha, the first-class god general of Tianlin city of the Protoss, looked up at the ever-changing list of Buddha statues, and his face became gloomy. Only the champion gets all the benefits, the runner-up is nothing. List of Buddha monuments. First place, Tiank, there are 72 stels of comprehension. The second place, Talha, there are 70 monuments of enlightenment. Third place, Wangtu, 27 stels of enlightenment. Fourth place, Motion, 23 monuments to comprehend human beings. Fifth place, Yuan Juxiang, with 20 stels of enlightenment. Staring at the list of Buddha statues that were gradually thrown away, Gu Sha's heart fluctuated little by little. Some are happy and some are sad. Where there is sorrow, there will naturally be joy. Big tortoise, it's up again. 666. After resting for so long, it seems that the rest is enough. Do it. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 4019. Seeing that hope came again, Bai Piao immediately became excited. While talking, his eyes kept trembling wildly. Bai Piao has always been thinking about lying down and winning. It's tiring and unrealistic to work hard on your own. What he yearned for was the day when one person would attain enlightenment and ascend to heaven. How cool is that? The whole person followed Feishan directly. Cool batch. Fang Fan raised his eyebrows, and there was indeed a sliver of hope at first, but after seeing the footsteps of the Suanweo giant Tiank shaking more and more, Fang Fan couldn't help but sighed softly. After all, it is still a little weak. Suanweo behemoth Tiank has worked hard enough. It's a pity that the steel of the Buddha is too difficult to comprehend. At this time, it is basically considered to be enlightened. This wave has reached a limit. If you continue to flutter down, the pressure will be too great. In general, there is no need for this. At the end of the day, this kind of indifferent consciousness is particularly straightforward, and everything is said without saying anything. If you can't grasp the rhythm this time, you will be completely suppressed and eliminated. Difficult to go to the blue sky. Puff. The giant Suanweo beast trembled, and collapsed in front of the 73rd Buddha monument. At this moment, his face was blushing to the extreme, and then he spit out another mouthful of blood, and this time he couldn't walk again. Owner. The basalt behemoth Tiank turned his head, with a look of helplessness on his face. He did his best. But this time he has reached the limit of what he can do. This wave was indeed too painful. Have a good rest. Don't try to comprehend by force. Safety first. Fang Fan comforted. This kind of thing cannot be forced. If you force it, it will definitely not end well. At the end of the toss, he was covered in bruises. If so, it doesn't really make much sense. Fluttering to and fro, this feeling is very real. It is more than words. Safe and steady, full thrust. That is it. That Talha from the Protoss has started to explode again. The 71st Buddha statue. 72. I haven't vomited blood yet. 73. 74. 80. 90. 95. I am CAO. It's too fierce. Is this a drug? Grass. Following this momentum, others have nothing to play with. God bless the Protoss. Ah. The Protoss are too cool. Grass. How jealous. Bad bastard. It's a lot of fun. Damn. I can't take it anymore. Why are these Protoss able to take off? Ah. Ah. It's so annoying. Kill him. Kill him. 96. 97 monuments. There are only 3 human stels, and I have completely comprehended 100 human stels. Then you can get a divine ladder. And you can also get a divine blessing. I'm so jealous. Can all of us be inferior to that Talha of the Protoss? This Talha, what kind of freak is this? It really took off. 98. The 99th human steel. I also realized it. The last human monument. Then there will be 100 human monuments. Too strong. Invincible. Everyone, give up. There is no hope. The Protoss just blow up. Hey. This gap isn't too big. It's boring, it's really boring, the Protoss are too fierce. We are all sand sculptures. Cool moonlight is being fully practiced. This is our lonely moment. At this moment, Talha, the third-class god general of the Protoss, received the full attention of everyone. I saw him coming to the last sacred monument with a solemn face, and then he gathered all his energy and began to slowly comprehend. A heart has been hanging upside down. He is fighting for the future of the Protoss. He is fighting for the future of the Protoss. God ladder must belong to the Protoss. The Protoss should be prosperous. At this moment, Talha inexplicably felt waves of vomiting. I feel extremely painful in my heart. I wanted to say something, but I couldn't say it at all. Deep in the throat, it feels like something has been stuck. It's so humming disgusting. Vomit. Talha suddenly started to vomit, and then his whole body was shaking wildly. Then he hugged the 100th sacred tablet tightly, his eyes became extremely blood red. How much he wanted to comprehend the last human monument, so it can be regarded as a phased victory. But no, it can't be done. Now his whole body felt as if he had been emptied a little bit, and an extreme dizziness came, and then the vomiting became more and more intense. Feeling this time, the frequency of vomiting immediately increased crazily. For a time, the ground was full of those disgusting liquids. It seems that it is inexplicably a headache. This picture seems extremely far-fetched. For a moment, he couldn't say a word, and felt extremely awkward, and then he couldn't say a word, and his eyes looked extremely empty. Standing not far away, Gushat, the first-class god general of the Protoss Tianlin city, looked at the picture in disbelief, and then his posture of gnashing his teeth was fully displayed. Grass. What's the situation? How did you become such a ghost? I almost shivered for the last time. No matter how hard and tired you are. Persevere a little longer, okay? Opportunity. This is an opportunity. If you don't work hard now, it's over. It's over. Come on. Come on. Talk to you, can't you hear me? Keep going. Talha. Persevere one last time. The last human monument. After comprehending, you can go to comprehend the monument. Talha. The hope of my Protoss. Talha. Hold on. From now on, you will be the king of the Protoss. Didn't you say that you are the most suitable to be the king of the Protoss? As long as you work harder, I fully support you to become the king of the Protoss. Don't just give up like this. Talking to you, did you hear me? An extremely hoarse voice followed, and for a while, the picture in front of him was being torn apart little by little. I want to say something, but I can't say it, thousands of words are stuck in my throat, and I can't say it at all. Difficult, difficult. Looking forward to that moment of success with all my heart. I have gone through these 99 steps, and the last shiver is all that is left. But it was the last trembling that blocked all the way. Who can bear this? No matter how you say it, you have to make further progress. Originally, I just thought about not being eliminated. But as Talha learned more and more sacred spells, seeing the growing hope of winning the championship, Gusha's heart was naturally stirred up. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu. Chapter 4020. No expectations, no disappointments. But now that hope is in place, there must be no more disappointment. It's a pity that after Talha vomited next to the last human monument, the game was over. Basically, that's it. It's cold. It's really cold. Even if you don't want to admit it in your heart, it's true. Talha. You really can't hold on any longer. Gusha felt very painful. At this moment, he gritted his teeth viciously, and there was still a last sense of hope in his heart. Vomit. Hearing Gusha's urging, Talha's feeling that had been relieved just now was suppressed in place again in an instant. Suddenly, the feeling of vomiting became more and more intense. For a while, there was a sense of rejection in the depths of my heart. Immediately afterwards, he began to vomit crazily again. The vomit on the ground gradually increased, gradually exuding a foul smell. Talha felt his whole body was weak. At this moment, he was directly paralyzed in the vomit, and he didn't know it. The whole person was dizzy, and the corners of his mouth twitched, as if his yang energy had been sucked dry by some goblin. That extreme feeling swept over. Immediately, self-control is completely difficult. The cool moonlight is in full swing at this moment. Gradually, even the most basic sense of proportion is gone. In the end, he could only roar in the depths of his heart. It's a pity that, roaring and roaring, he still looks like a ghost. Very cold, very disrespectful. It's nothing, just playing around a bit. This is an overcomprehension. Talha collapsed in this piece of vomit, but his whole body was still shaking crazily. A pair of eyes kept trembling with the whole body. That appearance seemed to give people a sense of shock inexplicably. Now it is not as simple as a sand sculpture. Vomit. 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 Crazy vomiting is being fully practiced at the moment. For a moment, the eyeballs trembled crazily. In the end, I can only experience this unlimited coolness. Painful, yet seemingly pointless. The cool moonlight is sweeping in place at this moment. Very numb, more sand sculpture. Gudong. Gusha, the first-class god general of the Protostianland city, couldn't help but swallowed a mouthful of saliva, and didn't dare to urge him blindly now, and now he felt a little bit of fear in his heart. He even thought, this guy, isn't he going to die soon? If this is dead, get a hammer. In the end, wouldn't it be directly contained? Extreme pain swept over. What else is there to say? It's getting cold, won't it just get cold? The rest of them have nothing, talk too much, have a hammer? No point at all. Don't get excited. You can throw up if you want. Take good care of your body. Don't really vomit yourself to death. At least if you are alive, there is still a little hope. If you really die, you will have nothing. Hiss. Don't be like this, I can't grasp it. A series of shouts followed, and at this moment, I couldn't help but let out a soft sigh. While speaking, his eyes flickered across the board. No matter how unwilling Gusha is in his heart, he can only grit his teeth and stick to it at this moment. Don't be chaotic, let alone anxious. One messes it all up. Anxiety can ruin everything. These are all the same. My whole heart was beating wildly, and the more I thought about it, the more confused I became. Who can grasp the puzzle? Vomit. Can you just stop talking? Hearing your voice makes me want to throw up. Roll. Leave far away. Stay out of my sight. Go away. Talha wiped the vomit from the corner of his mouth, then his expression froze, and he yelled at Gusha angrily. The corner of Gusha's mouth cracked, and he immediately looked unhappy. Oh shit. How did you talk, boy? Ah. Will he speak? Shut up if you can't speak, okay. What are these things? It's as if I owe you a lot. Son of a bitch. Hateful. Damn. The more I thought about it, the more chaotic my thoughts became, and everything was silent. The more I think about it, the more unhappy I get anyway. Anyway, from the beginning to the end, this feeling seems very appropriate invisibly. Once the feeling is in place, the taste will be there, and there is nothing to say about the rest. Fluttering to and fro, that's all. Play. Just playing. Gusha clenched his fists, making a gesture to go up and teach Talha a lesson. Lord Gussa. Don't get excited. God Talha is now the hope of our Protoss. The future of our Protoss is tied to him. Can't be careless, can't mess around. Master Gusha, endure the calm for a while. Take a step back and open up the sea and the sky. Master Gusha, hold on. The yelling was gradually in place, the breathing was gradually rapid, and the eyes flickered, the mood was surging to the extreme. The more I said it, the more I felt uncomfortable. The true meaning in this, let alone tell who. Quaid, the second-class god general of the Protoss Tianlin city, quickly came over and held Gussa, preventing him from going there to teach Talha. Quaid. Aren't you and Talha always at odds? What do you mean now? WTF? Why do I not quite understand? What's the situation? What the hell are you going to do? Gusha looked at Quaid in surprise. In his impression, Quaid and Talha had always had a life and death relationship before, and he wished to kill each other. Why did it suddenly change now? Invisibly, it is very sand sculpture. Something is wrong. Something is really wrong. Ah. Cough. This, doesn't it depend on the situation? Master Gusha, what is the personal grievance between me and General Talha? In the face of the justice of the gods, I don't care. It can even be said that God Talha will stab me a few times now, and I don't care about it. Because my heart is filled with the righteousness of the Protoss. The righteousness of the Protoss comes first, so what if I, Quaid, suffer a little bit of grievance? Master Gusha, it depends on Talha whether he can get those rewarded divine ladders, divine ranks, and divine fluids now. At least for now he's the most hopeful of all. If you kill him now, all hope will be gone. At that time, I'm afraid it will be too late even if I regret it. Master Gusha, you should be able to understand what I said. This is the end of the matter, it's useless to say more. What should be done, what should be done? All kinds of yelling increased, and the picture in front of me gradually came into place, and everything was said without saying a word. What should be grasped is still to be grasped. No chaos, absolutely no chaos. The thoughts are gathered in place, and the rhythm is extremely clear.